Please listen carefully.
Well, hello, universe, and welcome to the Optimus Daily Update. I'm Christy Jansen.
And I'm Summers McKay.
And we are part of the team behind the Optimus Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to help us all get focused on what's going right in the world.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, cuddle and talk about it worthy podcast. Today is the very romantic Monday, the 14th of February, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day, Christy.
Happy Valentine's Day, Summers.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm not a huge Valentine's Day person because I sort of don't like the commercialization of this holiday. Mm-hmm. The compulsion to purchase things to prove that you love somebody.
Right.
I'm more into the hanging out and the just cuddling up as opposed to getting flowers or chocolate or jewelry or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I send our kids. I do Valentine's for the kids, but between my husband and I, Valentine's gifts are just not expected. Like you, I'm not a huge commercialization type person. But I do love that Valentine's Day can remind us to talk about love and health and personal love and self-love and sex and wellness.
Sure.
It's a conversation that sometimes we forget to have. And during this really super weird pandemic, relationships have been super weird. And,
I think that's true. And it's a nice reminder to reflect on the quality of your relationships and where they're really successful and where they need a little work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And who you're missing and who you love.
Love can be a romantic thing, but there's lots of different kinds of love.
Yeah, and intimacy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I won't ask what you're giving your husband for Valentine's Day.
I'm going to give him a hug.
A hug. Acts of service and time together. Ooh, I feel like I know what we're going to talk about. Did you have a good weekend, though?
I did. It was just pretty chill. Beautiful weather,
mm-hmm.
Lots of long walks with the dog and hanging out with my son. He has to take his driver's training class before I can actually let him drive me.
Right.
We're getting him signed up for that. But
you guys need to find the parking lot, right? The big parking lot to go practice U-turns in.
Yeah.
When teaching my two older children, we went to the community, the government center, and just drove up and down those lanes. And then,
Yep.
You can do that kind of before they have a license. I mean, don't quote me on it, and some attorney is going to say that, don't at me on social media if you won't. Exactly.
Well, he's going to be fine because he can drive a golf cart.
Mm-hmm.
He can drive a boat,
mm-hmm.
so he'll be fine.
He'll be more than fine. So should we just, get into the news this Monday?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I am going to have you go first then. What is your solution?
Well, the headline that I'm highlighting for Valentine's Day, which is probably good advice for both Valentine's Day and our work lives and pretty much everything in life. But the headline reads, "It may sound backwards, but slowing down is a faster way to succeed." And this is something that I think we're all starting to learn to question our obsession with productivity and going. The idea of the hustle being the greatest good and questioning whether that's really the case, whether that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Successful leaders, it turns out, and entrepreneurs who are the most effective, turns out they actually know something that some of us who are striving to achieve sometimes forget.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that slowing down builds the foundation
mm-hmm.
for success. And actually, you need to slow down first
mm-hmm.
to go fast.
Right.
This is something that reminds me also of martial arts. In order to learn how to properly move your body in an effective way, sometimes you have to go really slow first before you can go fast. This article is looking at that, and it outlines 4 reasons why, according to the entrepreneur Andrew Thomas, that slowing down can actually help accelerate your success and also help you enjoy a deeper sense of fulfillment and give you that solid foundation to create the life that you really want. Here's the 4 main reasons, according to Andrew Thomas. First of all, you'll have greater clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great question. What's the point of hustling if you're going in the wrong direction? What if you're working so hard and you're actually moving towards something that really doesn't matter to you or that really doesn't give you the results that you want? So that ends up being like you're running on a treadmill. You're not actually going anywhere.
It's a bit like being in a washing machine, right? If you're just going, you have no clarity, everything is spinning around you. It's just do this, do that, this, that. And you don't actually have a sense of purpose if you're just going.
Right.
It's very mixed up and it's a mixed load as opposed to an intentional direction.
Right. And so to remedy this is to schedule at least an hour every week to check in, where you can reflect on your intentions, observe what the challenges you're having, the opportunities that are presented right in front of you that you maybe, if you're moving too fast, you won't even notice. Think about what's working. Think about what's not working, and that way you can be more strategic on where you want to focus your energy. So again, slowing down, reflecting is so important because you got to know that you're going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. What would a check-in like that look like for you?
For me, well, journaling is one of those really important things for me.
Journaling.
But not just that, taking some time and just not doing anything, seeing what I'm interested in. Since I saw West Side Story, for example, I've been obsessed with watching dance movies.
That's great.
I know this is crazy, but I feel like I want to get back into my body in a way that I've been disconnected from. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not necessarily do anything with work, but it is to do with where I feel like I've been working really hard. I've been nose to the grindstone in terms of my computer, and I've neglected my physical self.
Right.
That's something that's come up for me. But journaling, thinking, dancing, all of these things important.
I think a check-in for me, sitting down and journaling is something that I used to do well when I was much younger. Right now, I just don't. One, my hand hurts. Two, I find that I think through things more clearly when doing something physical. Gardening with light classical music or taking a walk with light classical music where it's not a podcast, it's not other noise coming in, but it is physical. So my body is moving and my mind is connecting. It's kind of that when your body warms up, your brain works better. That's why we get great ideas in the shower. So, don't take an hour-long shower.
Go for a nice walk.
Exactly. All right, what's next?
Well, the second reason that it's important to slow down is that you can't hustle when you're dead. And this is a good reminder that so many of the classic diseases that we're all plagued with these days have to do with stress. And if you're constantly hustling and not taking care of your body, then you're going to end up hurting yourself in the long run. Mm-hmm. So this article links to another article from the Optimus Daily that includes 5 ways to rest for renewed energy levels that can give you some tips and tricks on gaining back energy. The third tip is that by slowing down, you can harness the power of emotion. And again, if you're going too fast, you may have no idea how you're actually feeling. And many people fail to see the benefits of their emotions because our emotions are what help us know what we really want. They help us know what we really don't want. They help us know what we really love. They help us know what we really don't like. Yeah. And if you are cut off from your emotions, you're not going to know where you are in the world, and what's the point of hustling if you're going in the wrong direction? Understanding your reactions, your emotional reactions, it can give you that extra energy, that extra boost. If something's making you angry, if you don't know that and deal with it, it's going to come out in other ways, whether it gets turned on yourself or, squirts out in unhelpful ways towards your coworkers or your boss or your partner or your kids. And finally, the last reason that it's so important to slow down sometimes is that it'll help you make better decisions. When you slow down and take that time for the rest, the meditation, for the self-check-ins, for the relaxation, for the knowing where you actually stand, how you feel, it'll lower your baseline for mental stress. And when your mind isn't racing, you can take a proactive approach to things as opposed to just a reactive approach to things. It'll give you that space. Anyway, I love this reminder.
These are great reminders, Christy. We live in this world where we go, and even you and I professionally go. But just reminding ourselves and everybody who's listening that part of love is self-care. Self-care also can perpetuate success and opportunity.
Yeah. So yeah, this is my self-love Valentine's Day message, right?
Good pick for this Valentine's Day. Well, this week on the Optimus Daily, we decided to take on the notion of love and healthy, intimate relationships and really have conversations that need to be had as we're coming out of this pandemic, both talking about how to take better care of each other and ourselves, but also acknowledging that a lot has changed when it comes to relationships and consent and understanding what good, healthy sex is, and kind of breaking down the sex positive movement to help people understand what that means. We're going long on love and intimacy this week on the Optimus Daily. There's a lot of stories that you'll see over the week, and hopefully this will inspire you guys. The story that I picked this morning is about partner love, and it goes back to a tool, a very basic tool in many relationships called the 5 love languages. So my headline reads, "Don't let love get lost in translation." All about the 5 love languages. Many of you guys have probably read the book. This is like Christie's List, a good reminder of things we already know. But Gary Chapman, PhD, developed the love languages as a concept which follows the following love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. The idea behind love languages is that everyone has a preferred way of communicating and receiving love and helps us navigate these distinct styles. What I have in my own life acknowledged is that it's not only communicating and receiving love, but also offering love. And sometimes in partner relationships, your love languages don't match. But that doesn't mean your relationship can't work. We'll go through the 5 love languages real quickly. Christy, do any of these love languages pop out as you?
Well, I feel like touch is really important to me, and that physical touch. And this is one of the reasons that I've been so hampered by the pandemic experience, where I've been disconnected from a lot of people who I really love.
Yeah.
Because of their immunity status, their fears, my fears, just managing that. Yeah. It's been one of the challenges. I mean, to me, that's, I think, probably your
driving love language.
And also quality time.
Okay, well then let's start with physical touch, since that's the first you picked.
Okay.
Acts of physical intimacy like hugging, kissing, cuddling, holding hands are all very powerful and affirming emotional connectors for people whose love language is physical touch. It can be as simple as a hand on a shoulder. So if you are someone who needs physical touch, or you notice that your partner needs physical touch, make that expression. Give them the love that they need. Next thing you talked about, Christy, was quality time. This is one of my love languages. Your presence is my present. That is what matters. This love language is all about giving your undivided attention to that one special person without the distraction of your television or your phone or your podcast or your cat or your puppy. It's actually being like really connected with that person. There's also words of affirmation, which is how people who respond best to verbal acknowledgement of affection, like frequent I love yous, compliments. Acts of service, this is another big one for me. Quality time and acts of service are probably my driving forces. And this is all about action. It's what you do for the other person. So it can be something as simple as like making somebody coffee in the morning or doing extra chores around the house when you know they're having a stressful time. And the last of these languages is gifts. And gifts could not be a more appropriate thing to talk about than here on Valentine's Day. I have grown up, like you, Christy, where receiving gifts is not something I'm particularly good at. I am married to a man for whom his love language is giving gifts. And it has taken me years to lean into gratitude for his love language, because the actual experience of receiving gifts, I think for you too, feels like dangerous and feels a little insecure and doesn't feel good, like, because this gift shouldn't replace quality time or acts of service or physical touch, the other things that are more important to us. So, love tip. Not that everyone's listening to the Optimus Daily Update for love tips.
It's appropriate for this day of all days.
Exactly. A therapist that my husband and I worked with reminded us that we can't just use our own love language as our driving force, but also to be willing to accept that the love language of our partner, while it may not feel good or be what we want, my husband's not asking me to give him gifts. He's just asking to let him give me gifts. Yeah. And for me to be grateful and excited and changing my own experience, because flowers on Valentine's Day are like ick. Super ick to me. Really grossed me out in the past. And now I receive them and I'm grateful for them because I know that to him, that's a love language. But honey, if you didn't get me flowers today, don't worry about it. Not worried. But if you did, I will say thank you and give you a great big kiss. That's kind of our quick review of love languages as well as slowing down to achieve success. Also on the Optimus Daily today, there are 3 lifestyle hacks to help keep inflammation at bay, sex tips for seniors, what older men need to know, gut bacteria have nutrient sharing sex, and 5 ways to get rid of a love bite. Yay for hickeys. What else, Christy?
Well, to get a little away from the Valentine's Day theme, the love beat, how starfish skeletons inspired ceramic engineers, 5 steps towards living a more intentional life. In the name of mental health, this bank gives workers 3-month paid sabbatical leave. I'd like to go work for them this summer. Sorry, I want to take a sabbatical.
Yeah. You got it. You got it. Sometime in 2025. All you.
And finally, there's a new basic income pilot that's going to offer cash to undocumented immigrant families. I think that's for families that have mixed immigration status. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting approach and see how that'll work. Yeah. That is what we've got on today's Optimus Daily. Thank you everybody for listening to the Optimus Daily Update. We promise to keep sharing positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate and get active and figure out how to help in your love language to change this world and ensure it is changed for the good. We promise to keep covering current events with accurate, legitimate sources and offering you the information we all need to chart new paths for all of us.
In a totally Valentine's Day commercial sense, I'm going to say if you haven't given a gift to someone you love, it is time to do an act of service and give a gift with words of affirmation. See, I did that all. That's what the Optimus Daily can be. So give a gift to someone you love today for Emissary membership, or join yourself and give a gift to yourself because we love you. And that is all we have to say today. Thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with more solutions.